Good morning. I'm Scorpio,
Yeah, Aquarius.
and today we're going to discuss The Matrix. The Matrix in itself, it's an interesting thing. I mean, everyone's probably heard of the movie and with Keanu Reeves and everything like that, but what do you think about it, Aquarius?
Um, it's a real thing. So basically, we're going to talk about our take on the Matrix, I guess you could say. The whole Matrix system, or they call it the Maya Matrix, but it's almost like how it was in the movie. I mean, there's this world that's kind of like a made up world, or um,
It's kind
you
of
have to
like,
be kind of at a certain level of consciousness to be a part of this matrix world, if you will, I guess.
I got you. It definitely seems like there's a completely different life you can live. There's one side where people obviously they get manipulated by the food they eat, the people they interact with, even the different electronic devices that they're using, the news, all the stuff. They think that ultimately is the reality of things, and then there's nothing really much to life except for what they show you and they want you to believe. Yeah, have you had any interesting experiences in or out of the Matrix?
Well, just in the matrix, believing a lot of the stuff that goes on in the world is real when it's really not. Like stuff that's in the news, or believing the earth is a sphere that's rotating around the solar system. Uh, Believing somewhat in like your foods and stuff. But I guess I was one of those people that wasn't really always completely in the matrix, because if you know, you always have questions, you just don't have the answers yet, then that's your gateway to get out of the matrix, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities to the movie The Matrix and like what's really going on because it's like that's how Neo was found. He always had questions like, what's the Matrix, or like what is all this? What's going on? Is this really the all there is to life? And then he even posed the question. He's like about like if he's in control of his life or not. He didn't like the idea that he wasn't in control of his life.
hmm Um, I don't know. I guess I think it's interesting too that obviously there's a lot of movies out there that try to show people that there's more to life, or something's definitely being hidden from us, or they're pulling a fast one over on us, or whatever. Any of those things, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But The Matrix is a really good example, I guess, because and there's other ones too, like the Truman Show, and like there's other movies, but like The Matrix, and I feel like, well, because it's almost, except for the part about that, when you come out of the Matrix, there's only like six people alive.
Mm-hmm.
They're fighting really hard to like try to wake up the world or whatever. But it kind of almost is like that too.
Yeah, you'll realize
It's
after.
a very small group of wake up people.
Yeah, and it's hard to interact with some people typically on a daily basis because they are so deeply entrenched in this system, and they don't want to let go. And they are like almost in this deep relationship with the Matrix. It's a you ask them, you question some of the things that they're saying or doing or how they feel about the world, and they almost like just get offended or like they just think you're crazy or they call you a conspiracy theorist or whatever because that's what they've been told to call you. But some
Yeah,
people aren't meant to be out.
that's what it seems like. And it sort of seems like, yeah, some people aren't meant to be out, or if they are, they kind of have to almost find, like, you can't help people out. They have to want to be able to come out themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
um,
you can show people the door, but they have to walk through it, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't even want to see the door when it comes to that. Like it's interesting because when you start to realize more of like the truth about things, you change the way you eat, you change what you have in your surroundings, you start to limit a lot of typical media sources and everything like that, and you start to just pull back from that and you realize you have so much control of your life. And I think a lot of people don't want that responsibility. It seems like it's almost hard for them to just not be miserable or like have someone telling them how they should think about things.
Yeah, it's like the human being is capable of like a lot more than what they tell us, obviously. And I think all the distractions and the food, chemical food, and TV, all that stuff is to keep us from figuring out that we are capable of quite a bit more um, mentally and physically and spiritually, I guess. And then once you start the waking up process, when you take the, what is it, the red pill?
It's been a while since I watched it, I'm not sure.
Then it's like you start getting rid of these things out of your life, either all at once or gradually. But you stop eating the chemicals, you start eating mostly vegetarian, non-chemical, kind of more whole foods. Stop watching their TV, stop taking their drugs. It's like all kinds of like you're like cleansing your system, and it's almost like deep down inside of your body, your soul like knows that you need to have a cleaner system to be able to, I guess, reach your maximum potential as a human on this earth plane.
Yeah. And it's interesting because people were starting to wake up. They have this whole now movement of people being woke and whatnot. And it's like, and they think they're waking up because they're like becoming aware of what the media is telling them to be aware of, which is just kind of interesting in itself because it's like it's trying to distract people from like really waking up on things. And then now they're like, whoa, so I'm like you, or if I act like you, then I'm awake, so I'll do that. And it's like they're just buying the system. It's just a different way.
Is fake awake, basically.
Yeah, it's like Matrix level 2, and you're like, okay, now I'm out, right? No, you're in still, just like everybody else. You're just being manipulated still.
Yeah, but I guess the video mostly is just yes, the Matrix whole Matrix idea is pretty much it's real in a way, but it is real.
Yes.
You know, and you can get out of it if you would like to.
And you can put yourself back in very easily too, but it's a little bit harder.
I don't know why you would want to get back into it.
Some people, yeah, I don't understand, but
you like the taste of meat, right? I like a big steak. It's delicious.
I know, jeez, but it's okay. It's like we don't have any anger or grudges towards people that eat meat or anything like that. But
no, it's like the movie on the Matrix.
Oh yeah,
right. That's like, right. I like the taste of meat. So you want to go back to the Matrix.
That's right. So I know this isn't real, but
it's delicious.
It's juicy and delicious. That's pretty interesting. And even the whole concept where it's like, yeah, just make me wherever I want to be. It's like if you're willing to sell out as far as you can, willing to sacrifice your whole being, you can make it pretty far inside the Matrix. But it's like a dangerous road to be traveling down.
If you don't care for yourself spiritually.
Yeah, so very interesting. We'll discuss some more topics at a future date. So thank you for listening. This is Scorpio.
And Aquarius, yes, just always ask questions and realize the world is not doomed and everything's awesome.